All right, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to July 2nd, 2026 pre-market session. Good morning. Hey, good morning, everyone. Awesome. Let's get started. We had a couple of important events for the day, and I will go over them one by one. Okay. So first of all, let's take a look at the S&P 500. We are seeing spiking and bouncing above 744, and retested 750 zone, and it's right now pulling back right around these areas. So this spike is not random. It's because of a couple of economic events that we had today around 8:30 in the morning, which I will go over them one by one. So the news was basically mixed a little bit, and seems like a bad news is a good news kind of reaction on the price action side. We had weak jobs report and data, which is normally showcasing economic slowdown, but right now the market may like it because it basically increases the chance of Fed easing the interest rates and rate cuts, right? So what were the news? First, we had non-farm payrolls, 57K versus 110K expected. That's a big miss. And the labor market is cooling faster than expected, and May payroll revised lower. So previous job strength was basically overstated, and these revisions kind of matter because they show the trend, and basically they show that this whole trend is weaker than the number that market originally expected or thought. And unemployment rate 4.2% versus 4.3% expected. This is the one that is basically strong in the whole report. And average hourly earning is up 0.3%, which is in line. And average work week 34.3 hours. Overall jobless claim, initial claim is 215K versus 220 expected. Fewer people filed for unemployment than expected, and there is a continuing claim of 1.8 million. So weak payroll support rate cut hopes, right? And the market may price in a more dovish Fed path. We'll see what happens, but employment is still not breaking, and since unemployment improved to 4.2%, this is not a basically full recession signal yet. As I said, it's mixed, and the market had a gap up, had a basically spike up, pushed higher, and now it's pushing back down. So and the wages did not surprise higher as well. It's important because higher wages could basically keep inflation pressure still, right? So some sector rotation concepts are basically semiconductors are weak, which we will talk about it. This is a major red flag for the Nasdaq, which it spiked right around 8:30 after all the reports, and it's pushing back down now, right? So even futures are green. Some names like Nvidia, AMD, AVGO, MU, SMH, we can analyze them and go over them. They are not really moving that much, at least until a few seconds ago that I checked them out. And crude oil is still going lower as expected. St. Hormuz flow remains open, and lower oil and weaker jobs means more Fed friendly setup. And some headlines and news for the day. OpenAI discusses giving the US government a 5% stake. That's an interesting one. Apple lobbying the US to buy chips from 2 Chinese companies. There is a negative news for Google. There is a 4 billion euro fine on Google, which can be a negative catalyst for GOOGL. And I guess that would be it for the market, right? So we had the reaction to the news and to the report, and we had some sort of volatility. The whole basically weak job report basically give bulls a reason to push, but semiconductors are still relatively weak, which may result in the price bouncing back down. But we will see what happens when the market opens. So let's take a look at the overall market and start analyzing the technicals now. So we were basically holding above 732 like 2-3 days ago, broke above this whole structure, right? Retested 740, broke, hit 748, 750, retested 742, and the last few days, last basically 2-3 days, we were technically forming a triangle right around these areas, right? This is the triangle. Now, with this new report, if the market continue moving higher and the market basically considered this whole news, I mean, there were lots of reports, so the participants need to consume all the report and information, and that might lead to some sort of consolidation for a while. But ultimately, if we get above this 749.5, almost 750 zone, which is this area, right? If we get out of this area, which is the current resistance on SPY, we can go all the way up till 752, 754, and 56 zone on SPY and basically run. So another thing that's another basically trend that we have would be this trend line, right? That we are almost there, right? So that is also another factor. So if we consolidate here, if we push a little bit higher, we are obviously fighting the supply and sellers right around this 750, and also there is a trend right around this 751 area on SPY. So you need to pay attention to all of these in order to plan for your trading day. But our basically critical zones would be still around this 749.5, 750. And on the other hand, on the demand side, we have the whole 745 all the way down till 740 as a key demand zone. And it is actually a real key demand zone. Every single time we hit around these zones, the price bounces back up. Now, if the price wants to form any kind of short setup, or if we want to take that, it could be either around these areas when a reversal happens, or probably when the price is totally controlling below 741, 740, and sellers are taking the control and pushing the price lower. Going short right at 745 probably won't be the ideal scenario that I would be interested in, but it depends on, again, the whole market. Definitely it's not A++, but depending on the movement, if we have a massive reversal and strong volume and pushing the price back down, and we see basically this trend is getting broken, then that could be a setup. But managing risk, managing position sizing would be the key part of taking these kind of trades. Obviously, a reversal here might have an edge. break below these areas and pushing lower, it has a good edge, and possibly you can go with your normal position sizing. But in other scenarios, you want to manage your position sizing and risk per trade in order to get out of this whole business profitable in long run. Anyway, Qs. Let's take a look at Qs. Daily chart. Apologize for all the lines, but on the daily chart, we're holding above 722, 723, and this is the key zone that we have been able to hold in the last 2 days basically. And this is 9 and 21 EMA daily chart as well, and we are holding right above this level. Now, this whole zone was a red supply zone for me, and this was actually a zone that was holding pretty strongly, right? This was a resistance. The price held, bounced above this level, rejected resistance. Now we held here, bounced back up, we held, bounced back up, we held, bounced back up, and now we are right above this demand zone on Qs as well. Now, if we can hold this level and get above pre-market level, Qs could potentially retest Tuesday's highs right around 737 and move higher, potentially hit 745 as well, ultimately. Probably not today, but ultimately. So these would be our critical levels on watch. The key 720 till 725 that it is right now as the main demand zone, and the resistance right around 730, 732, 733 on QQQ. If I want to make it a little bit accurate, right around this 732. Okay, so but it would be interesting to see how the price moves if we can actually react positively to all these reports or not. Apple bounced above 725 really well, right? And it is actually breaking this trend as well, and kind of holding there pretty good. Like, I like this whole hold and consolidation on Apple. If it keeps holding or even pull back down till 292 to even like 291, 290 and bounce above this level, this can be a really good setup for Apple, right? Apple broke below these whole zones. Now it is right above this level. The structure shifted. We are the previous resistance acting as a support. Price push back up higher. All of these previous levels are now holding right around this 294. So above this 298 level, we could potentially go for 303 or possibly move even higher. But if we lose this 290 level or this demand zone that we have here, well, again, that's going to be an ugly price action and possibly a pushback down. We'll see if that happens. Possibly if we get below this 289 and below this demand zone, we can go all the way down till 275 again. Tesla actually finally got above 200 SMA of 419. It got above this 410, 416. Not the cleanest price action, honestly. The price action on Tesla in the last 2 days was not really that easy and interesting to trade intraday, but technically it is happening right now, right? It is trying to push up higher again, and the main resistance obviously is this 450 level, but in the middle of this whole basically journey to 445, 450, we have a couple of resistance zones, and in the pre-market we're not really seeing the best price action possible on Tesla with this massive week up and down. So we'll see how it works. As long as it holds above this 416, 420, 400, even 400 like 10, if it can hold above these areas and maybe retest and pull back and bounce back up for the next couple of days, I think that could be a good setup for the next week on Tesla. So the key zones would be right now the pre-market high almost would be our main resistance zone, but right above it we have another resistance, which is the massive 445, 450 resistance that it kept rejecting multiple times in the last couple of months. And the demand would be 422, and then if that can't hold, we can go down to 416 and right around 416, 410. So, but overall, I don't really like the pre-market action on Tesla. We'll check out the price action when the market opens. That might get a little bit better. We'll see. NVIDIA. NVIDIA is also, I mean, just consolidating right here. Can't really push any higher, forming inside days. If we get above this 200, we might see some sort of push and some sort of opportunity, maybe all the way till 204, and if that breaks we can push higher, but we actually need to get out of this 200-ish level and push higher, which we couldn't the last kind of 2 days. This zone seems like it's acting as demand so far and it's holding. Again, not the cleanest price action. NVIDIA is not really moving that well. So 200, 201 on watch, and then the main demand would be right around this 190. Google retested the moving averages on the daily chart, and it is just right at this trend line as well, and it had a negative catalyst. So I would be interested in watching Google for a possible rejection here and pushing lower and getting below this 350, 348. If that happens, we can continue going lower, considering that it had a negative catalyst, or it might just keep pushing higher. If it gets above pre-market level, the next target would be right around this 372, and the best setup I would say on Google would be when it gets above this 378, 380 level and higher. AMD failed again at all-time highs, and it's rejecting the all-time high. We'll see if it will reverse right around these areas or not, but not really that interesting anymore. If it just pushes higher, reject this area, we might get a reversal setup down till 515, 520 ish level on AMD. Not that interesting honestly. Like Intel, yeah. Intel hit the demand. Let's see if it will bounce here. If it bounces again, we're just in a really sideways zone at this point on Intel as well. Above pre-market level, we can go for 133 and 135. Not the best setup again, but maybe above this 132, 133 we get some sort of squeeze and push higher all the way up to 140. Meta had a massive run yesterday, right? And finally it is holding, it's pulling back down to these areas. Now I want to see if it can hold as a demand. This is going to be important, right? If we can hold these areas as demand zone, which is this like 600 level, we might bounce and push higher on Meta. So Meta on watch. After the catalyst yesterday, we might see some sort of push. If it cannot hold here, and if it doesn't hold, we might go for a gap fill below this 595 level. We might feel the gap all the way down to like 580-ish. Right, so MU also is basically holding right above 990, and it's just consolidating in this range. So I want to see MU either break out of 1,120, 130, or get below this 1,000 range. Microsoft, yeah, not that interesting as well. Microsoft had some sort of catalyst on watch. It is actually holding, no, actually Microsoft is holding this 380 really well. I like this hold. Break out of this level, yeah, can potentially, might have this one right there. Yeah, I guess Microsoft also looks good, right? Microsoft right around this 380, it's holding this zone. Bounce here and break above pre-market level can lead the price up to 394 and eventually around 400. So yeah, Microsoft also on watch for the day. Amazon, really nothing there. PLTR had a rally yesterday, and the market will be open in a few seconds. So PLTR, if it holds above this 126, 127, on watch for a push all the way higher till 134. So as long as it holds this zone, we might see some sort of bounce here and continuation to the upside. All right. Awesome. So I will be going ahead and trade live with the team. If you want to join us and if you want to trade live with me every single day, make sure you check out the link in the description and join us and trade live with us and make money with us. Thank you. Take care. I will see you guys in the next one.